All that could be heard was the sound of the rain, the voices from the kids' TV program Maria was watching, and the engrossed Marie's cackling voice. In other words, what greeted them as they returned dumbfounded from that horrible, bizarre scene was the voice of Maria as she rolled around laughing at the TV. Those who returned to the room didn't know how to explain to Maria that her mother was dead, and were trapped by a suffocating silence. At first, Maria returned the stares with a dubious look, but when she realized they weren't trying to blame her for anything, she ignored them and again immersed herself in the TV program. The children wordlessly sat down heavily on the sofa. Their minds were probably blank from the state of shock. Everyone had already cried and mourned so much, but now they just vaguely sat there, their faces seeming to have lost all emotion. Only Cannon had returned to his usual calm expression. However, that probably didn't mean that he was able to wipe out the shock. Nothing was reflected in his eyes as he stared into empty space. Hideyoshi kept on fidgeting, and every time he remembered that horrible scene, he started muttering about how he couldn't believe it, how it couldn't have been something from this world, how it must have been the work of demons. Every now and then, his muttering produced a question directed at Nanjo, but the latter kept repeating in a calm, doctor-like manner that nothing could be understood by only glancing at the scene, and that until the police arrived, they wouldn't learn anything. However, Nanjo only appeared calm next to Hideyoshi, who simply couldn't suppress his agitation and fear. In fact, Nanjo had also received a huge shock, and his face was deathly pale. Maybe that atmosphere was why she tried to rise to the challenge and take charge. Natsui appeared to be unchanged from her normal attitude. She briskly gave directions.
私はお父様のところへ行ってきます。現時は急ぎ警察へ連絡を。
かしこまりました。
私も一緒させていただいていいかしら、夏日姉さん。クラウス兄さんがいなくなった以上、お父様の補佐は私の仕事だもの。その私が夏日姉さんに任せっきりで、ここでくつろいでいるわけにはいかないわ。
Natsui was struck speechless by Ava's aggressive move in a situation like this. She seemed to be claiming that, with Kraus dead, the one to take responsibility shouldn't be his wife, but herself, the next highly ranked in the family. Or maybe she hadn't been at all happy when Natsui took command without reference to her in such an extreme situation. However, even Ava's mind had been blank from the shock until a moment ago. She only came to her senses after Natsui started giving orders.
お好きになさるといいでしょう。
Natsui started walking without saying a word more. Ava followed closely behind her. As they did, Kumasawa ran into the parlor. She usually wasn't the kind of person to run around, so under normal conditions, most people would have taken her entrance as a sign that something was the matter. But because everyone was still stricken with shock, they hardly even noticed her.
奥様
夏日姉さんならお父さんのところへ行ったで。すぐ戻ってくるやろ。どないしたんや、熊沢さん。
それが食堂に血が。
The ears of everyone in the parlor twitched. Everyone thought the same thing. I hope I misheard that. Any container can only hold so much, and no one here would be capable of handling yet another tragedy. So they all thought it. I hope I misheard that.
なんやて？食堂？
朝食の準備に食堂に配膳に行ったら。
The first one to start running was George. His harsh footsteps jogged Hideyoshi and Nanjo to their senses, and they chased after him. Battler and the others followed. They flew into the dining hall one after the other, but they didn't find any change that might have caused Kumasawa to go pale. To those who had viewed that gruesome scene in the storehouse, it was a bit of an anticlimax. However, Kumasawa, who had followed them, pointed out there really were some traces of blood remaining on the floor. Compared to the terrible scene, it wasn't very impressive. However, if you calmly thought about it, this definitely indicated the loss of a lot of blood.
ここにも血だまりがあるよ。これは一体。
だいぶ時間が経っているように見えますな。おそらく昨べここで殺されたんだと見ていいでしょう。
そういうことになるんやろな。わしらはゆうべずっと食堂で話し合いをしとった。そしてここに何者かが押し入ったに違いない。
父さんたちが打ち合わせを抜けて休んだのは何時だっけ？
昨夜の24時を少し過ぎたくらいの頃や。だからその後にと考えるんが妥当やろな。
マジかよ。勘弁してくれよ。お嬢様、しっかり。
俺はもうさっきの倉庫でこの世の地獄ってやつを拝んじまったから、今さらこのくらいじゃ答えねえぜ。
そうかよ。よかったな。私は頭がどうにかなっちまいそうだぜ。ここは食堂だぜ。私は毎日ここで食事をして、学校のことをぼやいたり、宿題のことをぼやいたり、親父に学校の成績の話をされたり、そういうところなんだぜ。お嬢様、これ以上ここにいるのはよくありません。客間へ戻りましょう。
俺の同感さ。秀吉おじさん、この部屋は多分警察にとって重要な意味があると思います。俺たちが踏み荒らしちまうのはまずいんじゃないですか。
Baylor proposed this in a slightly firm voice as, along with Cannon, he grabbed the pail and shaking Jessica's shoulders.
バトラさんの言う通りですな。この部屋にこれ以上好んで居続けることはありますまい。
Nigel spoke while looking at everyone's pale faces. Even though that horrible scene in the storehouse felt like something not of this world, at least then we'd have been able to leave, to cut ourselves off from that place and run away. Everyone had shared in that feeling. However, this dining hall was different. It was in the mansion, the main building on this estate. And as Jessica had said, it should have been one of the most calming places even inside the mansion. It was where all the relatives have eaten lunch and dinner yesterday. The shock of seeing this place smeared with blood reminded us of that horrible spectacle in the storehouse, and forced us to accept that we hadn't really been able to run away from the scene of that tragedy.
わしも同感や。この部屋には犯人の痕跡が残ってるかもわからんしな。素人のわしらがかき回すべきとちゃうで。はよ出るんや。はよはよ。
Hideyoshi also understood the meaning of what Battler had said, and pushed everyone to hurry out of the dining hall. The way we were then, looking at that blood any longer would have been too harsh. Nobody went against his words. Everyone raced each other out of the dining hall. It was almost as though the last person in the room would be trapped in there, all alone. Once in the hallway, we lent a hand to Kumasawa, who was still trembling and leaning against the wall, and we headed back to the parlor together. Then Genji returned.
お、源氏さん、警察に連絡はつきましたか？
それが申し訳ございません。無線機の故障か、それ以外の理由によるものかわかりませんが。
なんや、警察に連絡がつかんのか。電話も無線もどっちもダメなんか。
申し訳ございません。月曜の朝に船が来ることになっていますので、その船の通信機を借りることができると思います。
この島には船はないんか。新島の警察署までちょっくら行ってくることはできんのか。
秀吉さん、この天気では無理だ。少なくとも台風が通り過ぎるまではどうにもなりません。
クラウス様のボートは今修理中で島にございません。ですので月曜の船を待つほかないかと。
そんなアホな話があるか。6人も死んだんやで。そして電話も無線も通じず船もない。台風が過ぎて船が来るまで つまり明日の朝までわしらは警察にも連絡できず、この島におれっちゅうことなんか？
ってことはつまり俺たちだけじゃなくおじさんたちを殺した犯人もこの島から出られず足止めってことだな。
そういうことになるね。みんなを殺した犯人はまだこの島にいる。
親父たちを殺した奴はこの島から逃げ出せずまだ潜んでやがるってことかよ。くそくそくそくそ、見つけ出してやるぜ。警察になんか引き渡すもんか。私がこの手でやっ先にしてやる。
Maria had finally realized that something odd was happening in the parlor. Rather than noticing something odd, it was probably better to say she felt unhappy and neglected, since everyone was getting so excited about something only she didn't know about.
ジェシカお姉ちゃん、誰か死んじゃったの？
The way she spoke was completely calm, just as though she was talking about someone who had appeared on television drama, as though it was someone else's problem. Jessica probably didn't like that. As though trying to say, can't you tell just by looking at me overwhelmed with grief, she flared up at Maria.
死んじまったぜ。みんな私の親父もトトラの父さんと母さんもコウダさんもシャノンもそしてマリアの母さんも。
よすんだジェシカちゃん、悲しいのは君だけじゃない。
マリアさん、ショックだろうが聞いてください。あなたのお母さんがな、死んでしまいました。
ママが死んじゃった？
ああ、誰かに殺されちまった。悲しいだろうがよ。心をしっかり。
何人死んじゃった？
6人だぜ。6人だ。くそくそくそ、あんな残酷なことしやがって。踊ってもんがあるだろうがよ。人間ならよ。誰だか知らねえが犯人は人間じゃねえぜ。血の色が赤いわけがねえ。
犯人は人間じゃない。鍵が選んだ生贄なだけ。
おい、マリア、今なんて言った？
Maria had just said something, but since the words were so remotely separated from the flow and context of the conversation, I couldn't understand them for a second. When I tried to ask her to repeat it again, I was shocked by the sudden sound of Aunt Natsuhi's loud voice coming from the entrance to the parlor. It looked like Aunt Natsuhi and Aunt Ava had returned from their trip to see grandfather.
無線でも連絡できない？こんな時に使えなくて何のための防災無線ですか？
申し訳ございません。毎年保守点検はさせているはずなのですが。
ほら、光をチカチカさせるみたいな船舶信号ってあるじゃない？そういうので向こうの島に連絡することはできないのかしら？
そのような設備はございません。申し訳ございません。
Just then, Kumasawa arrived, pushing a serving cart loaded with breakfast. Since there was no way we'd be able to eat in the dining hall, Hideyoshi had ordered her to take it to the parlor.
なぜ朝食をこちらに？
ああ、夏日さん、それは後で話す。それよりエヴァ、お父さんはどうなんや？
ご一緒でないところを見ると、このような事態になっても部屋から出ませんか？
いないわ。部屋は空っぽだったのよ。
なんやて？こんな時にどこ行ったんや？
親方様が書斎を出られたというのですか？
そうです。私も驚いています。いつの間に部屋を出たのやら。あなたたちに心当たりはないのですか？
Absolutely looked like Genji and Ken as she said this. Maybe she was trying to ask whether the servants who served directly under the one-winged eagle knew of a place he might go. However, it was probably the other way around. Their faces made it clear that those who knew Kinzo best realized even more than the rest how impossible it was for him to leave his room.
僕たちにも見当がつきません。
ご存知の通り、親方様はあの書斎の中にお休みの場所からご不条まで全てを設けさせました。親方様があの部屋をお出になることなどよっぽどのことがない限り考えられません。
となると、なんや、そのよっぽどのことがあったって考えるのが自然だっちゅうことになるんか。
まだそうと決まったわけではありません。とにかく気まぐれな方ですから、現状をご存知なくお一人で散歩をされている可能性もあります。仮にそうだとしたら、一刻も早く現状をお知らせしてご指示を仰がねばなりません。
そうね、考えたくはないけど、お父様の身に何かあったのかもしれないしね。
そのような不吉なことは考えたくもありません。
No one had seen Kinzo since the discovery of those 6 terrible corpses. On top of that, the phones were broken, the radio wouldn't reach anyone, and there was no way to contact the police. Apparently, a typhoon would leave tomorrow and a boat would come. But until then, no one could rely on anyone outside the island, nor could they escape the island. The tragedy had hit everyone so abruptly that they lost all their composure. Everyone felt a heavy silence. Everyone was impatient. Even though they needed to do something, they couldn't think of anything. So some of them held their heads in their arms while others got irritated. Right now, no one could explain what was occurring on this island, Rokunjima. After that, we ate breakfast Kumasawa-san had made, which felt dry and tasteless. Of course, this was right after something like that had happened. No one felt particularly hungry. However, we understood logically that not eating would weaken our bodies. It would also be rude to Kumasawa-san, who had made the breakfast. Kumasawa-san had taken some unusual Western vegetables, ones that Goto-san had probably ordered for his ultra-elaborate meals, and cooked them in a Japanese style, which made them turn an unpleasant color. As to what Goto-san had been planning to cook with those ingredients, right then I couldn't even imagine it. If I did think about it, I'd be reminded of the way Goto-san died, and a sour taste would fill the inside of my mouth. Everyone pretended to eat for the time being, but of course no one made much progress. Then we began pooling our knowledge of our current situation. First off, 6 people, which include Uncle Kraus, my dad, Kirie-san, Aunt Rosa, Goto-san and Shannon-chan, have been found in the Rose Garden storehouse as brutally mutilated corpses. And yet, we still couldn't contact the police since both phones and the radio were unusable. So until the typhoon passed, there was nothing we could do. Furthermore, grandfather, who we might have hoped would be able to show at least a little leadership in this kind of situation, had disappeared some time ago. Goto-san hadn't made breakfast, so grandfather's stomach must have been empty. And if he had been just taking a casual walk, we should have been able to hear him whining about how hungry he was by now. And despite that, he hadn't appeared. There was more than a small chance that he had gotten caught up in this crime. According to my aunts, on their way back from Kinto's study, they'd search for him, calling out on every floor, but they were unable to find him. Considering the timing of it all, it's only reasonable to assume that this disappearance had something to do with the crime. We figured Dad and the rest were probably killed in the dining hall, then painstakingly moved to the storehouse. So maybe Grandfather had already been killed, and dragged in some strange place, which we simply hadn't discovered yet. No one actually said it out loud, but this theory seemed extremely convincing.
私たちはお屋敷の戸締まりを確認してきます。お父様も念入りに探さなければなりません。子供たちはこの部屋を出ないように。エヴァさんと秀吉さんは申し訳ありませんが、ここで子供たちと一緒にいてください。南條先生もお願いいたします。
わかりました。ここでお待ちしています。
Aunt Natsuhi followed the servants, Genji-san, Kumasawa-san, and Kanon-kun out of the parlor. All that was left was Aunt Eva, Uncle Hideyoshi, Dr. Nanjo, and the 4 of us children, a total of 7 people.
みんなで仲良くテレビでも見て待ってよな。しかし日曜日の午前中はろくな番組やっとらへんな。
Uncle Hideyoshi started acting cheerfully, trying to brighten up this gloomy atmosphere.
ろくな番組見る見る。
お、そうか。マリアちゃんはテレビ見るか。じゃ、おじさんと一緒に見ような。
Maria was the only one who joined in. Even though Maria had been told of her mother's death, she didn't show the slightest flicker in her emotions. Was it really normal for a 9-year-old girl like Maria to act so much like a very young child? Everyone else's mood failed to improve, and they each sank absentmindedly into their sofas.
兄貴、聞いていいか。
なんだい。
さっき倉庫で兄貴はシャノンちゃんの指輪の話をしたよな。あれ送ったのは兄貴か。
George Aniki didn't answer, but he hung his head and closed both his eyes. There could be no clearer response.
よせよパトラ、少しは察しろよ。
だな、悪いことを聞いたぜ。
そうさ、僕だよ。彼女に昨べ求婚したんだ。その時指輪を渡した。明日になったらそれを好きな指にはめて返事としてくれって気ざったらしいことを言ってね。
And that ring had been on the ring finger of Shannon-chan's left hand.
私さ、数年前からシャドウに相談を受けてたぜ。ジョージ兄さんのことでさ。
なんて言ってたのかな。
シャノンは嘘をつくのが下手だったからよ。ジョージ兄さんのことを言ってるのはすぐにバレバレでさ。自分は使用人の身分だけど親しくしてもいいのだろうかとか、男の人の好きそうなものは何かとか、どういう服を着たら喜ぶかとか、そんなことをいろいろとさ。なんつうのか、そのまあ焼けたぜ。
それが婚約指輪を渡されておしまいかよ。
価値観は人それぞれだけどよ、男から求婚されるってのは人生の到達点なんだと思うんだよ。だからきっと昨夜のシャノンは心の底から、いや生まれてから今までの中で一番幸せだったと思うぜ。
George Aniki sighed deeply, without raising his head. Or maybe the tears had risen to his eyes.
シャノンは昨べゲストハウスの当番だったらしいんだ。でもシャノンは僕と一緒にゲストハウスに帰るのを恥ずかしがってお屋敷に行ってしまった。
シャノンの気持ちを察しろよ。婚約指輪をもらえばどんなに予告されてたって普通は舞い上がっちまって頭は真っ白になっちまうぜ。気恥ずかしくて仕方なかったんだろうよ。
それでシャノンは当番でないはずのお屋敷へ行き、そこでゴーダさんの仕事を手伝い事件に巻き込まれてしまった。僕があの日あの場所で指輪なんか渡さなければシャノンはサヨは事件に巻き込まれなかったんだ。
兄貴、それだけは違うぜ。断じて違う。だからそれ以上泣くんじゃね
え。バトラ君、そっとしてあげなさい。
Aunt Ava said that. I stopped talking to him. Misplaced words of comfort might actually do more harm than good. Jessica sat down next to Aniki and put an arm around him. Maybe only Jessica, who had known about Aniki and Shannon's love since the beginning, and who had even discussed that relationship with Shannon, could comfort Aniki now. I went over to Aunt Ava and sat down on the opposite sofa.
バトラ君は強いわね。もうだいぶしっかりしているように見えるわよ。
まあほら、愛の深さが傷の深さじゃないっすか。俺は別にあんなクソ親父どうしのうが知ったことじゃないし、キリエさんは気の毒ですが、まあ本当の親ってわけじゃないですしね。
あら、という割にはさっきすっごく大泣きしてたわよ。
まあ育ての親に対する恩はあのくらい泣けば OK かと思いまして。
そのあたりの切り替えの速さやドライなあたりは本当にルドルフ譲りね。あの子は昔から激しく喜んだり悲しんだり怒ったりしたけれど、すぐにケロリと平静を取り戻したわ。
そんなことはないっすよ。俺だってまだまだ心のショックから立ち直れちゃいません。ただ俺がみんなと違うのは、それによってどういう感情が生み出されるかってことだと思います。
どういうこと？
I've been acting much calmer than George, Aniki, and Jessica. That wasn't because my sadness was any less intense, or because I had already recovered. My sadness was simply getting replaced gradually with a different emotion.
悲しいっていうよりは腹立たしいって気持ちなんすよ。どこのドイツがこんなことをしやがったのか。横っ面に一発お見舞いしてやらないことには腹の虫が収まらねえんです。
That was what I really wanted to do. I couldn't forgive myself if I just sat there, overwhelmed with sadness and hugging my knees.
親父たちが殺されて以降、この島は台風に包まれたままです。つまりこれだけの上等を決めてくれやがった野郎はまだこの島の中にいるってことです。
そういうことになるわね。今も暗い森のどこかに身を潜めているのかしら。
I felt like I had a very similar conversation with Curious on the night before. That's right. After the letter from the person claiming to be Beatrice appeared at the dinner table last night, we talked about whether or not a 19th person actually exists.
エヴァおばさん、この殺人、昨夜のベアトリーチェの手紙と何か関連があるんでしょうかね。
ああ、例の？さあ、どうかしらね。あの手紙はお父様が遺産問題に絡みたくて出した怪文書という見方で兄弟は一致したんだけれども、それと今朝の事件に関係があるかは今の段階では分かりかねるわね。
あの手紙、本当にベアトリーチェなんて魔女がマリアに渡したんすかね。
まさか全部お父様の仕組んだ茶番でしょ。シャノンちゃんあたりに肖像画のドレスを着させてマリアちゃんを騙したんでしょ。お父様らしい手の込みすぎたいたずらだと思うけど。
昨夜キリエさんとベアトリーチェは実在するんだろうかって話をしたんですけど、キリエさんも俺たち18人の中にベアトリーチェがいるだろうと言ってましたね。
そんなの当然じゃない。この島には私たちしかいないのよ。なら私たちの中の誰かがベアトリーチェを語ったに決まってるじゃない。
この島には俺たち以外はいないすか。
当然でしょ。私たち以外の誰がここにいるっていうの？この島には私たちしかいない。18人しかいない。ならベアトリーチェを語るのも18人の中の誰かしかいないじゃない。
Curious-san denied the existence of a 19th person by spinning the chessboard around. Even though Aunt Ava hadn't constructed an argument that complicated, her opinion was at least the same. Except if that's the case, our situation starts to look very ugly. At the time of Beatrice's letter, the whole thing could have been passed off as a prank set up by someone or another. However, for assuming that there's no 19th person, we can't ignore this anymore. In other words,
19人目がいないなら 親父たちを殺した犯人も18人の中にいるってことになっちまうじゃないですか。つまり今この屋敷にいる誰かが殺したってことになる。
Aunt Ava smiled meaningfully. It looked like she thought this conclusion should have been obvious from the very beginning.
犯人は倉庫の中に6人の遺体を運び込んだわ。でもよく倉庫の中に運び込めたわよね。あのシャッターは常に閉められていて施錠されていたそうよ。つまり倉庫内に運び込むにはシャッターの施錠を開ける必要があった。わかる？
たまたまその日シャッターが開けっぱなしになってた可能性は？
使用人たちは常に閉めていると言ってたわ。つまり鍵を使用人室から持ち出さなくては倉庫は絶対に開けられない。
鍵は使用人室の一つしかないんすかね？
源氏さんはそうだと言ってるわ。ということは犯人はそのたった一つの倉庫の鍵のありかを知っていて持ち出した。さっきカノン君が使用人室に鍵を戻すところを見たわ。壁にびっしりと鍵がかけられていて、とても素人にはどこに何がかけてあるのかわからなかった。犯人はその中から倉庫の鍵を見事選び出したのよ。しかも札も何もついていない鍵を手にしてバラ庭園裏にある倉庫の鍵だと理解した。ついでに言うと倉庫の場所すら理解していた。もっとはっきり断言するわ。犯人は使用人室の内部にも熟知している。
Her argument was extremely plain and clear. If the bodies had been found and thrown somewhere in the bushes of the rose garden, there wouldn't have been much to go on. However, if there was only one key to the storehouse in the servant room, and it was stored with such a large group of keys, a novice would not be able to tell them apart. This meant that the culprit was someone who went into the servant room a lot and was familiar with the location of the keys. The family members didn't normally go into the servant room, which meant that...
ってことは使用人の誰かが犯人。
悪いけどそれ以上はおばさんも言えないわよ。でも一つだけ教えられることがあるわ。
なんすか？
犯人、犯人たちは複数で、そして十分な武装をしていたと考えられるわ。だってそうでしょ？食堂にいた兄さんたち4人を一度に襲って殺し、合計6人分の遺体をようようとバラ庭園の向こうの倉庫まで運んで悪趣味な化粧と落書きを施している。これだけのことを単独犯で行えるはずもないでしょう。
It made sense. It probably would have been possible for a single person with enough time, but it would take it so incredibly long. It's probably safe to assume that a significant number of people were involved.
Phew. ってことはエヴァおばさんは使用人の人たちがみんなグルだろうって言ってんすか？
静かになさいな。憶測で言っちゃ悪いわよ。それにもし本当にそうだったらどうするつもり？彼らは私たちを生かして返さないでしょうね。しかも兄さんたち4人をやすやすと殺した相手なのよ。今この部屋に残っていてまともに戦えそうな人間はうちの家族の3人にせいぜいバトラ君で4人ってところ。状況は昨晩と何も変わらない。つまり犯人にとって残る私たちを皆殺しにするなんて簡単なことなのよ。
I've been playing Detective Aunt Ava, trying to expose the person who had killed Dad and the rest before the police did. If only I could clearly penetrate the culprit's identity and stick proof in their face. I'd been so sure that, just like in one of those detective movies, the culprit would then give up and surrender. However, the culprit would only surrender if there was no way for them to fight back. The culprits behind a crime on this island were far from helpless. They might even be able to massacre all the remaining people here. And on top of that, this island is like a giant closed room, cut off from the outside world by the typhoon. So they had a full day until tomorrow to kill, scheme, and camouflage themselves. In short, it wasn't a safe atmosphere where we can get very far by playing detective. To the contrary, we were at a stage where we had to be scared stiff, since playing detective might displease the culprits, and cause them to commit another mass murder.
あくまでも可能性の問題よ。でも私は使用人の人たちをまだ信用できないわね。それに私は使用人だけを疑ってるわけじゃないわ。さらに黒幕がいるかもしれないと思ってるわよ。
黒幕？どうしてですか？
勘よ。使用人は書いて字のごとし、誰かに使用されて手足となる存在よ。殺されたのは後宮家の親族ばかりなら、その結果で利害が発生する人間が関わるのは当然。
This is also plain and clear. The Umineko family had been right in the middle of discussions about how to distribute the inheritance when grandfather died. In this case, followed the standard form of any classic mystery novel. The crime was definitely caused by someone with ties to the Umineko family who was involved in the inheritance problem. And Ava probably had to read a few books in that genre herself. The argument may have had a few blind assumptions in it, but it was a standard conclusion that anyone might have reached. I think most people would end up suspecting the servants, even if they used different reasoning to get there. Especially the story about the key to the shutter. That made it very easy to suspect that one of the servants was involved.
だからなぜか気に入らねえんすよね。
気に入らないって？何の話？
あ、いえいえ、こっちの話っす。
Tried to dodge her question by joking, but I couldn't erase the sense of unease welling up inside of me. After all, our conclusion was an easy one to reach. A conclusion that anyone could reach. And I just couldn't be satisfied with that. If I tried spinning the chessboard around like I'd learned from Kirie-san, this was exactly why a servant couldn't possibly be the culprit. If the servants really were the culprits, they wouldn't hide the bodies in a place connected to themselves. Why on earth would they use the rose garden shed if they were the ones in charge of the key that could unlock it? The police would probably immediately pursue whoever had been in control of the key. It was even possible that some of the other facts might come to light as a result. The more we think about the servants as the culprit, the less reason they had to carry the bodies into the storehouse. But what if they knew that we'd think that and put the corpses in the storehouse for that very reason? No, that's completely impossible. When the police came and inspect the scene of the crime, they'll probably be able to uncover many things. No matter how carefully the culprit carried out that murder, some traces will definitely be found. In other words, they had everything to lose and nothing to gain. If you think about it this way and look at the murder game from a culprit side, it's hard to imagine why they want to call attention to the corpses. Once the corpses were found, it could result in someone sending a report to the police, or it might have made the remaining people more cautious, or it might make the survivors start the search for the culprit. None of these things would make life any easier for the culprit. It's just like the words of the main character's mother in a novel I read recently called Higurashi no Naku Koroni. Every story needs to have a beginning, middle, and end. Eliminating that beginning is essential for the perfect crime. Right now, we don't know where grandfather is. We don't know if he's already become a victim or if he's one of the culprits. But in this state of confusion might be beneficial to the killer. The culprit has absolutely nothing to gain by showing us the bodies in such an obvious way and making us all realize it's been a murder. In fact, this is the perfect place to spin the chessboard around. In other words, showing us the corpse in such a flashy way must have been the culprit's goal in and of itself. So at the very least, to the culprit, the appearance of 6 corpses there meant that there's more deaths more than the deaths themselves. In other words, the culprit wanted this murder on display. To whom? To us. This is a message. The culprit's trying to shove something in our faces. I don't know what it is. At this point in time, this vulgar mass murder isn't making me feel anything except malice directed towards all of us. Malice towards all of us. Isn't it? Each one of the survivors has some kind of connection to one of the 6 victims. Uncle Cross's death brought Jessica to the grief of losing a family member. The deaths of Dad and Kirie-san brought me sorrow, while Aunt Rose's death brought Maria sorrow. Goto-san's death probably shocked his fellow servants, and Shan-chan's death brought grief to both George Aniki, who had proposed to her, and Kanekun, who had loved her like an older sister. Everyone now on this island had received equal amounts of sadness, and Eva was sure the servants were in cahoots. But then, how could you explain the deaths like Goto-san and Shan-chan? At any rate, by this argument, the grief caused by the 6 deaths hit everyone but Aunt Eva and Uncle Hideyoshi. Even Aunt Eva, who directed suspicion at the servants, acted as though she herself was beyond suspicion. Could not be ruled out as a suspect. In the first place, she was able to argue that the servants were suspicious by focusing on the shutter key. But if you look at it from a perspective of motive and who would gain, Aunt Ava's name rises to the top of the list.
バトラ君が何を考えてるか、おばさんわかるわよ。
わ嫌だな。内緒にしててくださいよ。あんなことやこんなことで頭をいっぱいにしてたなんて。
私がこの殺人で一番得をする。どうせ疑われるだろうから、先に自己申告しておくわ。
I tried to dodge the issue by joking around, but apparently it didn't work.
遺産は兄弟の数で分割する。でも今や4兄弟は私一人。後宮家の全財産は全て私のものになるの。
秀吉おじさんが聞いたら、予算か言えばシャレにならんっていうところっす。
ごめんね。どう取り繕ったってどうせ疑われるだろうからふざけただけよ。だからこの殺人は私の立場から見れば私を疑わせるためのものではないかと思ってるの。困ったことに昨べのアリバイは弱いわ。
聞かせてもらってもいいっすか、昨べのことを。
バトラ君たちも知っている通り、兄弟が遺産をどう食いちぎり合うかという話し合いは深夜まで続いたわ。でも何時まで続いたかは知らない。私と主人は朝が早かったからね。もう眠くて24時を過ぎたあたりで抜けさせてもらったの。そしてゲストハウスに戻って休んだわ。
それを秀吉おじさん以外の誰かに証明できるっすか。いやいや、別にエヴァおばさんを疑ってるわけじゃないっすよ。
あら、どうだか。証明になるかわからないけれど、ゲストハウスに戻ってきた時、源氏さんに出迎えを受けてタオルはいるかと聞かれたわ。だから私たちがゲストハウスに戻ってきた時間は24時過ぎだと証明してくれると思うわよ。もっとも私の仮説通り使用人たちもグルなのだとしたらこんなのアリバイにならないけどね。
確かにそうっすね。ってことは俺今真犯人と推理ごっこをしてるってことになるんすか。
でも私の名誉のために言わせてもらうけど、遺産目当てだったならこんな変な殺人はしないわよ。だって遺産相続権を喪失させるだけならどんな死に方だって構わない。むしろ事故死に見せかけた方がスマートでしょ。使用人たちを抱き込んで周到に計画していたならなおさらそうするでしょうよ。
確かにそうっすね。営利で人を殺すならそれは常に殺人に見せるべきではない。
そういうことよ。だからおばさんは今からとてもブルーな気持ちなわけ。警察には黒幕扱いされて散々調べられるでしょうね。やだやだ。
Aunt Ava shrugged with a bitter smile. It was just as easy to suspect Aunt Ava as it was to suspect the servants. So if we spin the chessboard around, does that make it impossible for the culprit to be her, suspicious as she is? However, if that sort of argument always works, then a motive can never help us in any way. No, that can't be right. Knowing the motive must give us a powerful clues towards knowing the culprit. That's why murderers from all time periods disguise crimes in complicated ways, cleverly preventing their motives from being discovered. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Every time I spin the chessboard around, it keeps flipping from front to back, back to front. Are my thoughts bringing me closer to the truth? Or are they... Aunt Ava didn't want to talk any more than that, so I folded my arms and headed to the window to cool my head a little. As I looked over the parlor, I saw George, Aniki, and the others gathered, talking. It looked like they were talking about the magic circle that had been painted onto the shutter. As Uncle Hideyoshi thought back to that time, he started drawing the shape in the margins of Maria's notebook. I see. Since Maria was second only to grandfather knowledge of the occult, she might understand what it meant.
多分こんな感じだったと思うで。十字架をアレンジしたみたいなマークが書かれとったんや。そしてこんな感じで外周の円を取り囲むように妙な文字がびっしり書き込まれていて、十字架の上下左右の辺とその四隅にも何か書かれていたんや。アルファベットとかそういうのとちゃうで。あれはよく言う古代文字とかいうやつや。
あと円周部の頂点に小さなマークがありましたな。小さな丸を5つ十字状に並べ、それぞれを直線で結んだようなマークでした。
ああ、確かにそんなのも書いてあったで。うん、図形的には間違いなくこれや。細かい文字はわからんが、配列はほぼ同じや。
Everyone was staring down at the shape, so I stared down at it too. From what I had heard, this had been painting on the shutter to the storehouse with some material that looked like blood. I see, this sure is unsettling.
こんなわけのわかんねえもんを書きたがるのはじいさまだけだろ。まったくどこに行っちまったんだ。とっ捕まえて意味を聞き出してやりたいぜ。
Jessica's voice contained impatience and anger. She hadn't gone so far to say grandfather was the culprit, but she seemed sure that grandfather knew something about the culprit's background. Of course, if you are searching for a link connecting the Ushiyumiya family to the occult, 10 out of 10 people would think of grandfather. Also, to a person who knew nothing of the occult, this strange mark would have no meaning. Which meant that this might have been something addressed to grandfather. That's right, and the reason the crime was shown to the survivors was so they'd find this. In that case, where had grandfather, the essential recipient of this message, disappeared off to?
こんな図形に何か心当たりはあるかい？
Maria looked at the shape with a serious face. Maybe she was enthusiastic because this was her area of expertise. However, her appearance was of that of someone separated from the events at hand, as though this thing hadn't been drawn on the shutter closed around her mother's corpse.
僕の第一印象ではどこか外国の十字章に似たデザインだなって思ったかな。
ああ、確かにこんなデザインや。ということはそのどこぞの国と何か関係があるんか？
その国の十字章はもともと聖地巡礼者を守るための騎士修道士たちの紋章だったそうですな。
つまりこの魔法陣には宗教的な意味があるってことかよ。ますますにちんぷんかんぷんだぜ。
When I looked over at all of them, preparing to jump into the discussion, something shocked me. Maria was smiling, an eerie and incomprehensible expression on her face. It was almost as if she was making fun of everyone's ignorance. It was an expression that I wouldn't have dreamed to find on Maria's face. And she laughed. That eerie, jarring laugh was something I didn't want to believe was possible, even though I was looking at it right in front of my eyes.
全然違うよみんな。こんなの見てわかんないかな。
While everyone was busy being scared out of their wits, Maria kept on cackling happily by herself. After a while, that laugh was suddenly and abruptly cut off, but her expression still looked like it belonged to someone completely different from Maria.
これは太陽の7の魔法陣だよ。書かれてる文字はヘブライ語。貸して。
ああ。
Maria stole the writing materials from the stunned Hideyoshi's hand. She then started drawing another magic circle with a rustle right next to the one Hideyoshi had drawn.
で、こんな図形だったんじゃないかな。
そんな図形だった。
マリア、すごいな。さすが詳しいぜ。
Jessica tried to smooth things over by praising Maria. Maybe she wanted to confirm that this was still the Maria we all knew so well. But Maria didn't answer her in any way in particular. Maria began swiftly writing unfamiliar characters in the corners of the shape. When Uncle Hideyoshi and Dr. Nanjo saw them, their eyes immediately began to open wide.
天地と左右に書かれているのは風化水道を司る天使たちの名。カサン、アレル、フォルラク、そしてタリアハド。そして斜め四方には4代の王たちの名。アリエル、セラフ、タルシス、ケルブ。合ってる？
Even if they hadn't been able to correctly write what they had seen, when they saw once again they were shown something identical, it wasn't difficult for them to realize the two were the same. When Maria asked them whether it matched, Uncle Hideyoshi and Nanjo nodded over and over again.
間違いない。そうや。確かにこんな文字が書かれとった。なんでこんなん書けるんや。
あと演習部にも文字が書かれておりましたな。
わかってるよ。こうでしょ。
Maria quickly began to surround the circumference of more Hebrew writing.
旧約聖書の詩編第116編の16節と17節だよ。聖書くらい読んでなきゃ。
Acting as though knowing this was only common sense, Maria laughed. For a while, everyone, including me, was at a loss for words. A little later, George Aniki returned to his senses and slowly managed to speak.
すごいね。驚いたよ。それで、この魔法陣にはどんな意味があるんだい？
太陽の力を借りる魔法陣だよ。黄金で描き、護符にして身につけたる者はいかなる牢獄であろうとも、束縛から逃れ、自由を得られる力を授けられる。
束縛から逃れ、自由を得られる。意味深だぜ。
この束縛という意味は何も肉体的なものだけを指さないと解釈されている。だから縛られて牢屋にいる人ばかりに意味があるわけじゃないよ。しがらみや逃れ得ぬ運命など精神的な束縛からの解放も意味してるんだよ。
しがらみや逃れ得ぬ運命か。これまた意味深だな。
しかしさっぱりわからん。それとあの6人の遺体とどんな関係があるっちゅうんや。束縛からの解放どころか殺された上に倉庫に閉じ込められてたんやで。
別にその6人のために魔法陣が描かれてるわけじゃないね。魔法陣のために6人はそこにいるんでしょ。お気の毒だよ。
どういう意味だい？魔法陣のために6人がいるってのは一体。
Maria lifted up her pointer finger and waggled it as if she were making fun of us.
それは演習部に書いてるよ。読めないかな。詩編第116編16節と17節。読んであげるよ。主は私の枷を解かれました。私はあなたに感謝の生贄を捧げ、主の皆を呼ぶでしょう。ね。
ねって何を言ってるのかさっぱりだぜ。
生贄だってのか。
If what Maria had just read out loud was the vital point of the magic circle, then it was saying that sacrifices had to be offered in order for this magical circle to be effective. So human sacrifices had been offered inside the storehouse where the magic circle had been drawn. A heartbeat later, everyone seemed to reach the same conclusion. Some people were shocked, and others spat out that this was insane as they punched their knees. This was starting to get incredibly disturbing, and we couldn't accept it or understand it. I don't care what kind of magical circles or curses other people believe in. I won't pick a fight with them. But they did really kill Dad and the rest of the sacrifices for crap like that. I just couldn't stand that feeling. Compared to this, I preferred it when they were still disgusted by the theory about the fight over the inheritance. As I started getting pissed off with the feeling between anger and sadness, I broke from the circle of everyone was in and returned once again to the window. Something had gone insane since yesterday. There was that letter from the witch Beatrice that Murray had read her out loud at last night's dinner. Ever since that point, it feels like like this whole mansion and this whole island have been getting more and more firmly locked inside some kind of bizarre world. That's right. When I think back on it, that letter was an invitation from the witch. The ruler of the nighttime island had invited us inhabitants of the day into another world. The phone and the radio had been interrupted and the island was shut off by the typhoon, so you could really call this place another world cut off by the real one by now. Yeah, as this island is now, it's perfectly normal for a witch to send us letters and for human sacrifices to be offered up for the sake of magic circles. So what will happen next? Will some weird people wearing goat masks start doing the Bond Festival dance or something? It's hopeless, I don't get it. Inside my head it's all screwed up and I don't even know what to think. Anger, sadness, the opposing emotions all swirled up together and they started to suck me in. Unable to resist, I could do nothing but cover my eyes with my hands and thrust my mind and body as I started getting sucked in. As I started losing heart, I began to recall a memory from when I was small. It was when I was very young. I had unfortunately seen a scary cult movie on TV, and for a while, I hadn't been able to go to the bathroom by myself. That old bastard gave an exaggerated laugh and said this.
なあ、バトラ。どうして悪魔だのオカルトだのってのをわざわざこうして映画にすると思う？ねえからだよ。ねえからわざわざ見たくて作るんだよ。だから俺はオカルト映画なんてちゃんちゃらおかしくて笑っちまうってんだ。
That's why those occult movies just make me laugh.
俺に言わせりゃ、悪魔やら妖怪やらより、今年度の収支報告や機嫌を悪くした女房の方が1億倍も怖えってもんだぜ。さらに言うぜ。俺、怖がるってのは、心と生活にゆとりのある連中の娯楽的感情なのさ。暇でしょうがないから。連中は変わった感情で心を遊ばせたくて、悪魔だの、オカルトだのって文化を作り出したんだよ。
Seriously, why have I been acting so damn thick-headed? I was totally taken in. Don't try to mess with me. This is the human world. I don't give a damn about witches, demons, magic circles, and sacrifices. The human who killed Dad and everyone else is still on this island. That's all there is to it, right? The next person who started speaking to my heart was Kyrie-san.
チェスや将棋ってね、終盤の終盤、詰めの最後の段階に入れば入るほど最善手は限られてくるのよ。だから自分が追い詰めている、あるいは追い詰められているというその時、両者の手は限りなく読みやすくなるのよ。つまり完全に追い詰められて打つ手なしって思ったその時こそ最も読みやすい瞬間なのよ。でも守勢に立った人間はどうしても考えが固くなって相手の手を読むことにまで考えが至らない。そういう時はね、チェス盤をひっくり返すの。
With all my strength, I slapped my face with both hands. Now my eyes were truly open. When you don't understand anything and you're completely cornered like I am now, isn't it the perfect time to spin the chessboard around? While on the defensive, we can't even guess at the corporate scheme. If we spin it around and look at it that way, just what might we see? First off, at the time the culprit committed the murders, they knew the island was being cut off by the typhoon. Therefore, they should have understood that even if they carried out the murders, they wouldn't be able to get away the next morning. In short, the culprit began without securing a way to escape. Furthermore, that bastard tossed the corpses in the storehouse. Then was even kind enough to say, "Here they are," with that weird bit of graffiti. In other words, since we'd probably find the corpses sooner or later, they wanted to show them to us. If we'd all been dim and had no storage shed, the culprit's goal would not have been achieved, would it? If you think about it that way, that bastard of a culprit Since this morning, they must have been watching our every move with bated breath. After all, if we hadn't been so kind to discover what was on the storehouse, all that hard work and preparation they did last night would have just gone poof. What did the culprit want to make us feel by showing us the corpses in the storehouse? All 6 of the bodies had their faces noticeably destroyed. Was it a grudge? A warning? The defacement of the bodies probably occurred after death, so it hadn't been the means of which the culprit had killed. It didn't mean anything to those who had been killed. It did have meaning for those who found the bodies. The culprit wanted to make it appear that they had been killed so brutally. Huh. After thinking it this way, I really want to tell that bastard to stop taking me so lightly. Just who danced to that tune? If you're told, please be scared, you can't just say, really? Sure thing. When someone tells the great Ushirimiya battler the entrance is right here, I'm the kind of guy who will start wanting to sneak in through the window. The next thing that had me concerned was the so-called magic circle on the shutter. As Maria, who had shown that her knowledge of the occult rivaled grandfathers, had recognized, the magic circle was genuine. They must have drawn that thing in pitch-black darkness, taking a lot of time holding an umbrella in one hand. Isn't that amount of hard work and perfectionism impressive? What purpose would have been all that effort? If we were looking for a fan of the occult in this mansion, most likely all of us would naturally suspect Grandfather. Didn't they want to make us think Grandfather was involved? But if that's all they wanted, they could have just drawn any scribble that looked like a magic circle. It wasn't like any of us amateurs would be able to tell the difference between a genuine and a fake. However, this magic circle was genuine, and furthermore, it had been written in Hebrew. So this magic circle had a message that could only be understood by someone with knowledge of the occult. A message is a form of communication. By sending it, they were hoping for a reaction. A reaction? For some reason, we couldn't find Grandfather now. I don't know how Grandfather might have spotted the magic circle in the shutter. But did he choose to hide himself in reaction to that? No, it was a trap to make us suspect Grandfather had participated. You could read it either way. Damn, that's annoying. What kind of reaction was the culprit hoping to get out of us by putting on this occult show? Somehow, that felt like the culprit's weak point. The letter from Beatrice that Maria had read out loud during last night's dinner sprang back into my mind. This was a freak who'd ask us to enjoy a battle of wits. Isn't that interesting? This is a battle of wits between us and the witch. Will we be sucked up by our occult game first, or will we pull off our fake skin first? There's a whole day until the typhoon passes. Why not enjoy ourselves? I finally noticed that the inside of the parlor had gone quiet again. Everyone had sunk into their favorite sofas, some deep in thought, some irritated, some acting depressed. Maria was once again enjoying the TV as if she never left it. It looked like she found the commercials more fun than the boring program, and she'd happily yelled ooh ooh and giggled. I stared at each person's appearance in turn. If there wasn't a 19th person, the culprit must be in this room. Right now, Aunt Natsuhi's searching the mansion with the servants, right? Then we shouldn't say, in this room. In this mansion is where the culprit has to be. After all, it's possible Aunt Natsuhi was behind this, and we still can't deny one of the servants might be the killer. Anyone could be guilty. Still, Aunt Natsuhi and the rest sure are taking their time. Of course, it's not a small mansion, but this is taking a little too long just to walk around, checking windows and doors. Just as I was thinking this, Aunt Natsuhi and the rest returned. Not one of them was missing. But our relief was short-lived. Everyone looked at Aunt Natsuhi in shock. The talk I'd had with Aunt Ava started to creep back in my mind. The possibility that the culprits had enough in numbers or weapons to kill all 6 at once.
驚かせてしまいましたね。万が一に備えて持ってきたものです。
After all, that thing in Aunt Natsuhi's hand was a rifle. At a glance, its silhouette looked a lot like a hunting gun. But it was unusually short and kind of looked like a kid-sized weapon. However, it had a weightiness to it that made it clear it was no kid's toy.
それは金蔵さんの銃ですな。
ご存知でしたか？そうです。お父様の古いコレクションの中にあったことを思い出し、探し出してきました。
ひゅー、すっげえ。夏日おばさん、それ本物なんすか？
ええ、本物です。実弾を発砲できますよ。昔お父様は 野鳥を追い払うのに使ったりしていました。
あら懐かしい。どこから出てきたんやら。私がいくら触らせてって言っても指一本触れさせてくれなかったやつよ。
へえ、じいさまこんなの持ってたんですか。知らなかったですよ。
お父様は昔西部劇にどっぷり使ってたことがあってね。あの世代はこういうライフル銃が大好きなのよ。
結構年季の入った銃のようですね。でもこんな短い仕様のは初めて見ました。
ああ、思い出したわ、その銃。懐かしいな。昔好きやった映画のガンマンが派手にぶっ放しとったやつだわ。お父さんも渋いな。
親方様がだいぶ昔に。ご覧の通り実銃ですので、どうかこの件はご内密にお願いいたします。
手に入れられたばかりの頃は大層気に入られておりまして、撃つより薬莢を出す動作が面白いらしくて、裏の森でいろいろとかっこつけて遊んでおられたもんですよ。
しかし物騒ね。そんなものまで持ち出しちゃうのかしら。
万が一に備えてです。賊はおそらく一人ではないでしょう。しかも主人たちを6人も殺した恐ろしい相手です。私には主人に代わって皆さんを明日まで守る義務がありますので。
As Natsui-san said this, she slumped down to one of the sofas and took a deep breath. She had been trying to find Grandfather, as well as check the doors and windows. Since Grandfather wasn't with her, she probably didn't know where he was.
屋敷内の戸締まりは厳重に確認してきました。ですが万が一ということもあります。みんななるべくここに一緒にいた方がいいでしょう。
そうね。ここに全員が集まって相互監視をしている方が安心だわ。
それはどういう意味ですか、エヴァさん。
別に夏日姉さんの意見に賛成しただけよ。
There was a stormy atmosphere between the two of them. If you think about who was the most suspicious from the inheritance problem standpoint, Aunt Ava was the obvious answer. However, there's no proof that Aunt Natsuhi was innocent. No, if you view Beatrice's letter as one of Grandfather's complicated pranks and think this crime is just an extension of that, there's more than enough reason to suspect even Grandfather. Also, Aunt Natsuhi thought the criminal was on the outside, but Aunt Ava thought the criminal was on the inside. In short, it was a question of whether or not a 19th person exists. That same question has been repeated endlessly since last night's dinner, with the letter from the witch who calls herself Beatrice. So was the culprit among us, or not? And did the witch Beatrice exist, or not? If you assume that something as stupid as a witch can't exist, you're basically saying that one of the relatives here who share a common bloodline is the culprit. If that was too unpleasant, it'd be much more comfortable to simply accept the fairy tale-like character of the witch. A witch? A witch drawing a bizarre magic circle and offering human sacrifices? If I could just accept that rubbish, I'd be able to trust all the people in this room. However, damn common sense got in the way. I kept repeating that witches don't exist. In that case, the culprit must be among us. In the middle of the seemingly endless rain, none of us could break the silence. Lunch ended and the servants removed the tableware and went to the kitchen. The wind and rain neither weakened or strengthened, and the island remained cut off from the outside world. At first it seemed as though Natsui planned to stop anyone from taking a step outside the room, but when it came to prepare for lunch, she finally realized that this would be impossible. However, in order to avoid having anyone alone in the kitchen, she told the three servants to go together. Because of that, the servants were the first ones given the right to leave the stuffy parlor, which had been packed with 11 people. Since breakfast had immediately followed the terrible incident, preventing most of us from eating much, everyone tore into their lunches in silence.
私が洗いますから 源氏さんとカノン君は少し休んでいてくださいな。何か飲みます？
私は結構。カノンは？
僕も結構です。
お二人とも早朝から大変だったでしょう。参ってしまうのも仕方ないことですよ。
The only noise was that of Kuma-sama washing the dishes, which resounded throughout the kitchen. Genji and Kanon sat in some chairs a short distance away, their eyes slightly closed. Just as Kuma-sama said, the two had probably built up a great deal of fatigue. But that didn't mean that they could let it show in front of the relatives. Avoiding that was one of their virtues. After the silence had continued for some time, Kanon opened his mouth and muttered.
シャノン、どうしてあんなひどい死に方を。
死に方のことは忘れなさい。ただ、運がなかっただけだ。
そうですね。ただ、運がなかっただけです。
They both fell silent once again. Kanon's expression was filled with grief.
シャノンちゃんが死んじゃったなんて、未だに信じられませんよ。本当にかわいそうに。もう会えないなんて嘘みたいですよ。もう一度あの子の笑顔が見たかったのに。
Kumasawa spoke for back facing them. After all, Kumasawa hadn't seen Shannon's corpse, so he had no trouble mentioning Shannon's face. When Kanon heard those words, it reminded him again of how only half of Shannon's face had been left, and his grieving expression twisted even further.
どうしてベアトリーチェ様はシャノンを。生贄が欲しかったなら他にも大勢いただろうに。どうして
ただ、運が悪かっただけだ。少しの運がたがえば、シャノンの代わりにあそこに横たわっていたのは私だったの、あるいは他の誰かだったのかもしれない。全ては運命だ。
源氏様、奥様の部屋の扉に血のような跡がついていたとおっしゃっていましたね。シャッターに書かれていたのと同じもので。
うん、気味の悪い跡だった。まるで血のついた指でドアノブを引き抜こうとするかのような。部屋、扉をかき破ろうとしたのか。そんな気味の悪い跡だった。
ベアトリーチェ様が奥様の部屋を訪れて、そして扉を開こうとしたけれど開けなかった。
Genji thought back to the time he had seen those traces of blood on the door to Natsu's room. With the substance sticking to the door around the doorknob and the marks of something scratching against the door, it had definitely appeared as though someone had tried to open the door but couldn't.
どうして奥様は生贄を免れたんだ。もし奥様が選ばれてたなら、シャノンは死ななくて済んだのに。
Just then a loud sharp noise came in from the hall. Both of them turned around surprised.
面白そうな話じゃねえか。俺も混ぜてくれよ。
Before any of the servants realized that Battler was standing in the doorway to the kitchen.
バトル様、これは失礼いたしました。
Genji-san and Kanon-kun stood up, surprised and hastily bowed. But I didn't care about stuff like that. I was more concerned about continuing their discussion.
便所って言って抜けさせてもらったのさ。ずっとあの部屋に閉じ込められてると窒息しちまいそうだったからな。水でも飲ませてもらおうかと思ったら、面白そうな話が聞こえてきたんでよ。頭なんか下げなくていいぜ。今の話の続きを聞かせてくれよ。
今のは別に。
ちょいと前から話は聞かせてもらってるんだ。今さら隠すなよ。だからベアトリーチェってのは何者だ。どうやらおとぎ話の魔女ってだけじゃなさそうだな。
Kanon-kun averted his gaze. It was obvious he didn't want to talk about this, which only made me want to ask even more. While making an effort to smile, I grabbed the collar of his shirt.
昨べまでなら俺は無関係さ。だがな、今朝からは違う。親父たちを殺された時点で、俺は立派な関係者だ。俺にも、そのうさんくさそうな話を聞かせてもらう資格があるはずだぜ。
I glared into Cannon's eyes as he continued to avert his gaze in apparent pain. Since there was a big difference in our heights, Cannon had to stand on his toes, and it looked like it hurt a bit.
バトラさん、手を離してやってくださいな。別にカノンさんは隠しているわけではないのです。
じゃあ話してくれたっていいじゃねえか。仲間外れたら寂しいぜ。
When I tried to further twist up his collar, Genji-san cut between us and spoke. His expression were faint traces that he'd made his mind to do something. Apparently, he had no intention of hiding it.
お話しすることはできます。ただ、バトラ様がお気を悪くなされるかもしれませんので、カノンは躊躇しているのです。
躊躇なんて男らしくねえぜ。内緒にされる方が気持ち悪いさ。聞かせてくれよ。どうせ明日までできることはないんだ。多少はうさんくさい話の方が退屈も紛れるってもんだぜ。
Genji-san and Kannon-kun looked at each other, then nodded as though they decided to talk.
わかりました。何でもお聞きください。お話しします。
ああ。じゃあ聞くぜ。ベアトリーチェってのは一体何なんだ。俺が知ってる限りでは露見島の森に住まう魔女ってことになってる。森に入ると危ないからってんで、ばあさまあたりが作り出した脅し話だって聞いてる。違うのか？
いえ、違いません。その通りです。ベアトリーチェ様は六軒島の森に住まわれる魔女であらせられます。
バトラ様、にわかには信じられないでしょうが、ベアトリーチェ様は存在するのです。親方様に莫大な黄金を授け、長いことおそばにお仕えした実在する方なのです。
はあ？よせやいよせやい。じい様の受け売りを言うのも給料のうちだってのか？
I laughed like it was a joke, but neither Genji-san or Kannon-kun laughed. Not even Kumasawa-bachan, who was avoiding my eyes, flustered as she started washing the dishes. So unfortunately, I was the only one laughing. Painfully, bitterly.
なるほど。源氏さんが断るだけはあるぜ。こいつは確かに正気じゃ気を悪くする。つまりベアトリーチェっていう名の人物は実在するんだな。
はい。親方様がこの島にお屋敷を構える以前から、おそらく私よりも長くお仕えしているでしょ
なんてこった。桐江さんの仮説は外れたな。じい様にベアトリーチェという名の腹心は実在したってわけだ。そいつは今この島にいるんだな。
はい、いらっしゃっていると思います。
曖昧な言い方だな。ってことは昨日今日そいつの顔を見たってわけじゃなさそうだな。
はい、大変申し上げがたいのですが、その
Kannon-kun once again dropped his gaze, avoiding my eyes.
なんだよ、そこで切るなよ。鮮度目みたいで気持ち悪いぜ。
I urged him on jokingly again. However, it looked like Kannon was still confused as to whether he should speak or not. Then Kumasawa-bachan whispered,
お顔を見ようにも、ベアトリーチェ様にはお姿がありませんから。
お姿が？なんだって？
ベアトリーチェ様にはお体がありません。ですからベアトリーチェ様がお望みにならない限り、 私ども凡庸ではお姿を見ることすら叶いません。
ベアトリーチェ様が人の姿をされていた頃の絵があの肖像画のものなのだとか。そのお姿を懐かしみ、よく肖像画の前に佇まれているそうな。
ベアトリーチェ様は時折輝く蝶の姿に身を変えられて現れることがあります。万一お屋敷の中でお見かけした場合には決してその後を追ってはならない決まりです。追えば不幸があると囁かれています。その禁を破り大怪我をして辞めた使用人も実際にいます。
おいおい、マジかよ。あんたら本気でそんな話をしているのかよ。
バトラス様、すでにベアトリーチェ様がお越しになっておられます。そのようなお言葉はよろしくないかと思われます。
ベアトリーチェ様はご自身を冒涜される方を好みません。その存在を疑えば必ずや不幸が降りかかるでしょう。
バトラさん、気持ちの悪いお話とお思いでしょ。ですがね、ベアトリーチェ様はいるんですよ。
います。それを疑われることをベアトリーチェ様はことのほか嫌われます。
わかりませんか、バトラ様。ベアトリーチェ様は今すでにここにお越しに。
おいおい、よせよ。俺そういうのは弱いんだぜ。脅しっこなしにしろい。
However, there was no trace of a joke in the eyes of the three servants. On the surface, I laughed and tried to look unconcerned, but I was quickly starting to sober up. Their eyes were also sobering up fast.
バトラさん、お願いですから、ベアトリーチェ様を冒涜することはおやめください。悪いことは申し上げません。
Kumasawa Bachan, who was usually cheerful and would always tease people, now spoke with a totally serious face.
いや、いるって言われてもよ、俺には何も見えないぜ。今俺の隣にいるとでも言うのかよ。冗談よせやい。
Just then, that unnerving laugh suddenly filled the kitchen. When I turned around, Maria was standing there by the entrance. But her expression and feeling about her, her presence, felt exactly the same as the servants.
波長の合う合わないは生まれつきだよ。バトラは生まれつき波長が合わないタイプなんだよ。だから見えない、会えない、話せない。ベアトリーチェの一番嫌いなタイプだよ。
Maria laughed like it was funny, but it sounded extremely eerie. It was almost as if she was laughing at me because I alone didn't understand.
ベアトリーチェのことが知りたい？ベアトリーチェはね、1000年の魔女なんだよ。あらゆる悪魔を刺激し、錬金術を極め、賢者の石を生み出し、莫大な黄金を生み出すことができる。おじいさまは彼女と契約することで、後ろ宮家に莫大な富を築いたんだよ。昨日私がベアトリーチェの手紙を読んだでしょ？あれは本当なんだよ。バトラに信じろと言っても無理な話だろうけど。六感が生まれつきさっぱりみたいだからね。
なんだよそれ。魔女？悪魔？そんなの誰に聞いたんだよ。
ベアトリーチェ本人に聞いたんだよ。
Maria kept doing that unpleasant laugh. However, the servants who watched over this didn't even blink. She heard it from that witch in the portrait adorning the entrance hall. Maria kept laughing in a weird voice, as though it was nothing more or less than the truth.
マリア、聞くだけ野暮だろうがもう一回聞くぜ。昨日マリアにあの手紙を渡したのは誰だ？
ベアトリーチェにもらったって何度言えばわかるかな。わかんないよね。見えないんだもんね。信じられないもんね。
Just then, Maria's laughter suddenly stopped.
バトラ、まだわかんない？ベアトリーチェ様がいるのが。
いるって、どこにさ？
だからベアトリーチェ様がここにいるのが。
That's right. Now that I think about it, I've been feeling for a while that the serpent's eyes haven't been pointed in quite the right direction. I figured they were just staring absentmindedly, but that wasn't the case. The four here, Genji-san, Kanon-kun, Kumasawa-san, and Maria, everyone except me, was looking at a spot right behind me. Holding my breath tightly, I slowly looked over my shoulder. Of course, there wasn't anyone there. I'd known that the whole time. However, everyone in the room except me was focusing on that point as if there was someone out there.
ベアトリーチェは1000年を生きた偉大な黄金の魔女。でも波長の合う人間にしか自分の姿を見せられないし、話しかけられない。だからね、それがとても悲しいんだよ。だからバトラみたいな生まれつき魔法のセンスもかけらのない人に存在を否定されるのがものすごく嫌いなんだよ。バトラは幸運だよ。昨日私にお守りをもらっていてよかったね。それを身につけていなかったら今頃ベアトリーチェのどんな呪いが身に及んでいたか分かったものじゃない。本当に幸運なんだよ、バトラは。
ああ、あのサソリのキーホルダーかよ。あれって安っぽい景品か何かだと思ってたんだが、ちとはご利益あったってことなのか？
それがなかったら今頃バトラがあの倉庫の中で顔面を砕かれて生贄にされていたんだよ。幸運だったよ、バトラは。
そうか、あれがなかったら俺は今頃殺されてたってのか。
なんでバトラはベアトリーチェを信じないの？いるのに。今そこにほら。ね、信じる気になったでしょ？信じなよ。マリアにお守りをもらったことを感謝しながら。あれがなければバトラは今頃倉庫の中。代わりに誰か一人が助かっていたかもしれないね。
Right then I burst into laughter. Playing witches might have been fun up until a second ago, but unfortunately, that last one seemed a bit too much for me to glass over.
じゃあ全然ダメだぜマリア。ってことなら悪いが、全然ダメだ。
When Maria suddenly saw me start laughing, she stopped. Even though she didn't understand what I was laughing at, she realized that wouldn't be pleasant for her.
お前が傷つくだろうと思ったから俺黙ってたけどよ。お前にもらったお守りよ、俺ポケットに入れたつもりだったんだけどよ、どっかに落っことしちまったんだぜ。だから俺が今この瞬間に無事なのはお守りのおかげでもねえし、悪いが俺は自分の目で見たものしか信じねえ。第六感？波長？魔法のセンス？悪いが俺はそういう眉唾なもんは一切信じねえぜ。クラスの女が霊感がいいの悪いのって言い出すのを聞いてると虫唾が走るのさ。あんたらがいくらじい様に給料もらってるか知らねえが、そう簡単にはいかねえってことをよく肝に銘じておきやがるってんだ。
バトラ様、
カノン君たちが信じるのは自由だぜ。だが俺が信じるかどうかは常に俺が。悪いがこの目で見るまでベアトリーチェなんてうさんくさいものの存在を信じるわけにはいかないぜ。
I spoke forcefully and sharply. Then Maria started cackling again.
ならそれでいいんじゃない？いずれお前のような波長が全然合わない人の目にもベアトリーチェは見えるようになる。もうじき蘇るんだよ、ベアトリーチェはね。そうしたら一緒にいっぱいお話をしたり遊んだりしようって約束してるんだよ。疑う必要も無理に信じる必要も全くない。現れるんだよ、もうじきね。